It's, well, a little complicated. Basically, my father, God rest his soul.
Witam Was serdecznie, z tej strony Markis i zapraszam Was do dalszych przygód. No, idziemy tutaj, co to mamy? A, to jeszcze mamy ten garnek z tą zapiną. Spróbujmy. Na pewno dobre.
Yeah, I should think so. Dragging their heels about it. They'd have. Look who's finally up! Henry! Come and join us!
O, Bożenki.
Good morning, Henry! You have no idea how glad I am to see you. Come join our banquet in the midst of these exquisite woods.
I'm glad to see you too. I see you're in a surprisingly good mood for someone who was at death's door yesterday.
All the more cause for merrymaking! Even this water now tastes like the finest wine.
Of course. I did bring it all the way from the spring.
And for that, I am in your debt, fair maid. And I'm grateful to you too, Henry. Bojena told me what happened here yesterday. That's the third time you've saved my life. I suppose I'll have to give you some estate or something.
The third time? What in God's name happened the first 2 times?
Now, Henry, don't make her beg. Tell this good maiden of your heroic deeds.
Well, there was this time when me and Hans had some fisticuffs in the tavern, and for punishment, I had to accompany him on the hunt.
And I shot a boar.
And made it mad. And when Hans chased after the wounded animal, he got caught by a human patrol.
Humans?
They come from somewhere in Hungary. Sigismund brought them here to Bohemia as mercenaries. They're a very dangerous bunch.
I told you about them, though. The fellas in the tavern in Zheleyov were saying there's some foreigners like that camping in the rocks down by the pond.
What?
It's just what I heard.
Whoa, that's all we need. I hope they don't turn up here. What could us two do alone against them?
What could they want from us? But if they did come here to rob us, I'd shoot enough arrows into them to make them think twice. But the thing I want to know is, how did it end up with young Sir Hans?
Well, as I said, they took him captive.
Well, there must have been 10 of them. I hadn't a chance.
You must have been seeing double. As I recall, there were 2.
That just proves how well you can count. Besides, they were armed to the teeth and had bows and armor. It might as well have been 10.
Whatever. Anyway, with a bit of luck, I managed to free Sir Hans.
Why the modesty? You got them. Maybe a stroke of luck, but as we know, audentes.
Fortuna juvat.
See now, you've finally learned it.
What?
It's just this kind of motto of ours. Fortune favors the bold.
Maybe they're really telling the truth about who they are. Who but a lord or a priest could know Latin? And priests they ain't. I can tell.
And as I recall, you already got a pony from Uncle Hanush as a reward for saving me. Your pebbles. So I'll save myself a few groschen.
But you never gave me anything for Talmberg.
For Talmberg? What was that about then?
The foe took the castle by subterfuge, and we planned a counterattack.
Under the cloak of darkness, we scaled the mighty walls of Talmberg Castle to get inside and open the portcullis to our brothers in arms who were poised and ready to attack.
And we almost succeeded. Only, along the way, Sir Hans here took an arrow to his noble seat.
Seat? He got shot in the backside.
My upper thigh, actually.
Backside it was. But that's no joke either. It's not easy to run with an arrow stuck in your arse. If I hadn't carried him...
I admit it, you saved my arse.
Well, now, you two have been through a thing or two. As far as I can tell, it really was his backside and not his thigh. I examined Hans and saw the scar for myself. But I reckon you paid off part of your debt the other day, sir.
No, true. I'll never forget you for dragging me all the way here from the lake.
You're quite welcome. The Lords of Lipa do not leave their friends in the lurch.
Do tell. What else did the two of you encounter?
Quite a lot of things. But I'm afraid we don't have much time for storytelling right now. We came here on an important mission, and we cannot afford to dally any longer. We have to get to Trotsky as soon as we can. How far is it from here?
Not far. Once you climb the hill above Zheleov, you'll see the castle.
All right. I think we should get on our way as soon as possible.
I'll prepare a bit of food for you, for your journey.
Oh, Bozhena, I don't know how to thank you for all this.
Ah, but I do. Once we've settled our business with von Bergov, I shall reward you as befits a knight. You have my word of honor.
Now you've got me curious. I never got a knight's word before.
For a start, you can leave me that axe and spade. We can't manage without them.
Yes, of course. And thanks for everything you've done, Bozhena.
I have something for you, Henry. Ma had trouble because of you, but I know you didn't do it on purpose, and you protected her when she needed it. I want to thank you for that. Take this potion. It will help when you're in danger or don't know which way to turn. Have a little sip each time, and it'll save you a lot of trouble. You'll see. It's not all that hard to brew. With a bit of practice, you could manage it yourself.
Thanks, Pavlena. This'll come in handy.
No doubt. But we'd better get going now.
Hans is right. We're very glad we met you. And we're obliged to you for your help and hospitality. God bless you.
And you too, sirs.
As Henry says, may God bless you for your generosity and your healing arts. And you have...
Can you tell me something about these parts?
What can I say? The village of Zheleov is nearby, and close to it there's a big traveller's inn. And to the north of Zheleov is Takhov. They've got a blacksmith's there, and a small tavern. There's no love lost between the folks from Zheleov and Takhov. They're always out to spite each other. Some dispute about some meadow.
Well, I don't suppose those are the only villages around here.
It ain't far from Zheleov to Semin. Sir Jan, the owner, he got a big stud farm with fine horses, and down by the water, a mill. The biggest village in these parts is Troskovitz, what lies at the foot of the castle. The local bailiff has his seat there, and there's a tavern too. Then there's Nabakov Fortress, Sir Yaramir's seat. There's a mill at the foot of it. But Pavlena knows more gossip about folk around here. She goes out and about. I stay home these days and hardly meet a soul.
How come you live out here?
That's just the way it is. It's for me to know, and you to find out.
Ah. All right. I won't pry. What about those armed men who came here?
Damned if I know. I just hope they don't show up here again. Take care.
Are you managing here all right?
We don't complain. We mostly live off the woods, and when we need something else, we buy it or get it from the villagers. Mostly, I weave baskets. And me and Ma brew ointments and potions. Then I go around the villages selling them, or I barter them for stuff we need. Sometimes folk come here to us, when it's something serious.
Is anything interesting happening around these parts?
Them bandits is riding roughshod over the place. It's about time Lord von Bergau rousted them out, but I reckon you know something about that, huh?
You got that right.
And there's to be a big wedding. Young Lord Semin's gonna marry the daughter of the bailiff of Troskovitz, Thrush. That's the biggest thing happening. Apart from that, a band of nomads turned up here. They got a camp somewhere down by the pond.
You said you'd shoot arrows at the humans. You can use a bow.
Yeah, I'm pretty handy with it. I train up there on the cliff whenever I have a free moment. And the hares hanging in Ma's kitchen didn't just walk in by themselves. If they'd let me take part in the tournament at Trusky Castle, I'd beat all the men hands down, but that'll never happen. So I have to make do with hares and a straw mannequin. See you soon, my friend.
Nothing against the hospitality of the good womenfolk here, but I want to get to Trusky Castle right away.
What about the rest of our company? Could someone else have got away?
You saw for yourself. They didn't stand a chance. But you're right, we shouldn't just leave it at that. As soon as we get to Trusky, I'll make sure they get a proper Christian burial and their souls find peace.
And when we get back to Ratai, we'll have a mass served for them.
You're right. They were damned good lads. I've known Oates since childhood. Damn it.
What about Mutt? He's bound to be looking for us, and we can't just abandon him.
Henry, I like your dog, but that's not our priority right now.
He saved my skin.
So did I. First Trotsky, von Bergov and the mission, then we can look for your dog.
All right. But the moment things are sorted out, I'll go looking for him.
I'd expect no less of you. So, should we get going?
Hold on a bit. Before we hit the road, there's something you should know. I have a hunch that one of that band that ambushed us at the pond was Istvan Toth.
Toth? Are you yanking my pizzle? He's long since over the hills and far away.
I tell you, I saw him there.
Of course, Henry. I know you have accounts to settle with him, but that's nonsense. Toth is in Sigismund's service and is harassing his opponents. And Otto von Bergov is one of Sigismund's allies. So Toth's hardly going to attack his people. It was dark. God knows what you saw.
I saw him, the bastard, and I'll get him.
Yes, we'll surely get him one day. I promise you. And your sword, too. But I don't think either of them are around here. You're still my protector, though, so you need a weapon right away. Here you go. You never know.
Where'd you get it?
I found it in the dung pile. Must have belonged to the fellow I brawled with that night we got here. Come on, let's get going. Your mind will turn to better things along the way. hope they've got a good physician at this castle. Or at least a barber. I mean, that old crone got me on my feet. But I don't believe much in herbal remedies. You can't beat an educated man of medicine.
And I can't wait to sleep in a proper bed.
And some wine!
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, it's closed. Open up! I bear an urgent message for your liege lord. Hear me! Open the gate! I am a messenger from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Fucking shit! Fuck! You fucking cunts! Do you know who I am?
No, we fucking don't. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, heir to Ratai.
Now, look here, you filthy beggar! I'm not here for your amusement, so get your stinking, ragged asses out of here on the double. The pair of you!
What's all this about? Why don't you send those beggars packing?
I did, sir. They say they're messengers.
I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, envoy.
I heard. Nevertheless, I doubt Sir Hanush would send two vagabonds covered in excrement as emissaries. Apart from which, Sir Hans Capon is dead. We found his body by the pond. His company was ambushed by outlaws, and they were slaughtered to the last man.
Yes, they ambushed us, but we managed to get away.
Sir, we met your Captain Thomas on our way. He can testify to who we are. He saw our message and its seal.
How terribly unfortunate you are. The captain's company was also ambushed by outlaws. The captain barely escaped with his life and has been delirious for 3 days. And even if he did confirm your story, I am under strict orders to admit no strangers to the castle.
Sir, there's a horseman approaching in King Sigismund's colours.
Ah, now that's what a messenger looks like. Count yourselves lucky that I don't have time to waste on you. Be gone!
I'm getting in, whether you like it or not.
Your shitty hands off me!
No, wait. Wait, one moment!
What the fuck was that?
So now what?
There's only one thing we can do.
two got any groschen?
What do you take me for, wench?
For someone who stinks like a badger.
Look, we've had a tough couple of days, so we'd like a bit of peace and quiet, a beer, and a bite to eat.
Unless you want to share a bowl of gruel, you're going to need more coin than this.
Just bring the best you have, and we'll settle later.
As the gentleman wishes.
Well, she's not far off. We look like a couple of beggars, and we stink even worse.
What the fuck was all that at the gate? You try to talk to them and get shit poured on your head.
Different lands, different customs.
God's holy britches.
I expect they've had trouble with beggars at the castle, so they act without thinking.
Oh, really? I'd never have figured that out. I'd rather hear some cunning plan how to get out of this shit. Huh?
The first thing we have to do is get ourselves into decent shape. Have a good scrub, get some better clothes. Then they might believe we're actually messengers.
That's all very well, except we can't even pay our bill here. Never mind a visit to the baths and the tailor.
So we'll earn some.
Earn?
I'm not afraid of work. And we're gonna need every groschen we can get.
And how long will it take for you to earn a few groschen? And where will you find a decent tailor? Before we get ourselves sorted out, Sigismund will be sitting on the throne in Prague.
So what do you suggest? Going back to Ratai?
To Ratai? You just don't get it, do you? We can't go crawling back like this. We'd be a laughing stock.
I'm sure Sir Hanush would understand.
He might, but he'd never let me forget it. I can guarantee you that. We've got no message, no coin, nothing but our ragged arses.
Chin up. We'll sort it out somehow, and everything will be fine again.
Nothing will be fine, my friend. I'll tell you 4 reasons why. Oates, Tankard, Conrad, and Nicholas, instead of sitting here with us, having a chat and a laugh, they're just food for crows in some godforsaken hole.
We'll go back and bury them as soon as we can.
Yeah, as soon as possible. They were good Christians, even though it didn't always seem that way.
We'll keep the promise we made at Pagenas. The best way to honor their memory is to finish our mission. We'll get inside the castle. You'll see. We'll avenge our lads and go back to Ratai with our heads held high. I promise you that.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Food! About bloody time.
Here we are. Gentlemen.
What is this stuff?
Hey, there's meat in that. And there's more than you gave me coin for. When you're finished, report for work.
Cheers.
What is it?
That's
that woman from the pond? Or the one you gave us away for?
I bear that witch. Wench!
What I tell you? Feisty. What are you waiting for? She can vouch for who we are. Go to her.
God be with you. A full pitcher of wine, please.
My word, that's a picture and a half. I ain't seen you here before. Who sent you? Not them nomad vagabonds, I hope.
Don't worry. I've come from the castle. I'm Catherine, and I've got the lovely job of keeping the soldiers' throats wet.
Ah, that's another matter then. Oh my. Ugh. Can you smell that too?
Oof. It stinks like something died here. Jesus, fella. That's a bit much.
Hey, youngster, if you want to go around mixing with my guests here, go and wash the stench off yourself at the trough first. Stinking up my establishment.
Divided up
I
fair.
heard some talk about your captain.
Only gave me the innards. What do you expect?
What was that? Wounded? Oh, hi. Poor Captain Thomas might never get back on his feet. Him and his men were attacked by bandits. Most of them are dead.
Jesus Christ!
Lord von Berghoff is beside himself and won't allow his soldiers out the castle.
Aha! So that's why they sent you for the wine. Wait a moment then. I'll be right back.
It's not a bad idea. Let's hear it. Right now.
Sorry to bother you, but I've seen you before.
Oh, eh? I don't remember. Hold on. Are you the boy that cleans the pit under the castle shitting hole?
We saw each other by that pond.
What pond? I haven't been at any pond.
Yes, you were. You were attacked there by some bandits. You, some other women, and us too.
I have no idea what you're on about. I work at the castle, and I wasn't at any pond.
Nic nie mów, odwróciłem ich uwagę.
You were washing laundry, and these bandits attacked you. I was in the water, and I distracted them from you.
That's nice of you, helping some unfortunate girl. But it wasn't me. You're mistaking me for someone else.
Here's your wine. Is this vagabond bothering you?
I can handle the likes of him myself. Thanks for the wine. Bye.
Look, please. I don't know what's up with you, but I know you were there. I need your help. You owe me that much. But we need to get to von Berghoff, and you're the only one who can confirm who we are.
You can't get into the castle. And even if you could, that was the king's messenger. Von Berghoff is getting ready to ride out.
Shit.
If you want to speak to him, the best place would be Samin's wedding. He'll be there. For sure.
No, wait.
And don't ever lay your hands on me again!
What are you gaping at? Have you nothing better to do?
Why are you standing here like a pillar of salt? Are you ready?
Zawsze jestem
Always
gotów.
ready.
Glad to hear it. You pair ordered a lot more than you paid for, so you work your debt off, like I said.
Dobrze.
All right. What do you want us to do?
Over there by the gate, there's a cart with sacks of flour from the mill. My old man was meant to take them into the house. But as soon as he got a sniff of work, he vanished into thin air. The second door in there leads to the pantry. That's why I need you to haul the sacks. You have to lay each sack on the planks, so they don't touch the damp floor and go moldy. If you just chuck it on the floor in the corner, it'll spoil. So do it properly. 2 men can finish the work in a jiffy, and then we'll be quits.
All right, we'll do it. Carrying a few sacks won't kill us. For sure, it's less daunting work than fighting bandits in the woods.
Aye, it's terrible about them bandits. We never had nothing like that here before. Like it or not, you can't pay what you owe me, so I'm putting you to work. Is that clear?
All right, we'll do it.
Glad to hear it. I can see you ain't stuck up like your mate. Where are you actually from, if you don't mind me asking?
Srataj.
Ratai.
Ratai. That rings a bell. I ain't been further than the back off me whole life, but I know this place inside and out.
You ain't ever been tempted to try it at least? Even if I was tempted, I don't have time for
What's life like here?
Better now that you and your pal have finally had a wash. Truth to tell, it used to be better. The war might be far away, but more and more young lads are going away to fight. But then there's a shortage of folk to do the work around here, and that's a big problem.
Am I supposed to open my mouth and wait for it to rain?
I'm sorry.
Well, can't be helped. Let's hope things get better.
Where can I find work around these parts?
First, you gotta carry them sacks for me, so don't bother looking anywhere else yet. But otherwise, you can find work anywhere. You just need to keep your eyes open and not be afraid to ask. Try Radovan the smith for one. He's a bit odd, but he'll pay decently for a helping hand. Come to mention it, he's sat just round the corner there, if you want to ask him about it. And that fella next to him is Miller Crazel. He needs helpers now and then, but watch out for him. You know what they say about Millers.
I've heard things all right.
Well then, be careful.
Is this the only tavern here?
In Troskovitz it is.
You must be doing pretty well then, eh?
I'd be doing a lot better if everyone paid their bills.
I heard some talk about some wedding being planned here.
Ah, nobody's talking about nothing else. Young Lord Samin is marrying Agnes, the daughter of Thrush, our Troskovitz bailiff. And it's going to be a grand affair. When rich folks get married, that's a feast that's a lot different from when some tanner gets hitched to a bathouse wench.
Will Lord von Burgov be at the wedding?
How should I know what his lordship's plans are? But most likely he will be. Samin is his vassal.
Who is this Semin?
Can't you tell by the name? The Lord of Samin. The fort and the village belong to him. Old Jan Samin is the head of the family, and his son's called Olda, and it's him who's getting itched. There used to be a rich family. Their glory's faded a bit, but they still have some clout.
Could I get to the wedding somehow?
I don't know about that, lad. It's for invited guests only.
Where's the wedding going to be?
At Samin, of course. I expect old Sir Jan and our bailiff will try to outdo each other in showing off their wealth.
It seems that's really our only chance.
What's that?
Oh, nothing.
If you want to find out more, there's a couple of invited guests having an ale over there. Young Svatja there. He's the bride's brother. He can be a bit of a pain, but he's a good lad at heart.
Where do you want the sacks moved to?
To the pantry. That's the second door inside there. But I'd split the work with your pal if I was you, so you don't do yourself a mischief. It's his debt too, ain't it?
Where's the pantry?
Second door inside the tavern. You can't miss it.
Is that all you know about the wedding?
What else is there to know? I'm just looking forward to being a guest and having someone serve me for a change.
I'll go and discuss it with my friend then.
And careful with them sacks. I don't want you ripping them or anything like that. And what can I get for you?
Hej. Żeśmy sobie trochę pogadali. Z tym jeszcze musimy chyba porozmawiać.
What are you standing here for?
I'm waiting. I'm paid to transport loads, not to haul them on my back. The cart won't unload itself, will it?
No, that's a stroke of luck. I'm just looking for a job myself. How about I haul those sacks?
It's all the same to me. Go and talk to the innkeeper about it.
Superżystą trzeba porozmawiać.
When their time comes, I'll take her to the butcher. And the more I think about it, the clearer it is to me.
Chodź no tu, kobieta.
We could come up with a plan to take her away. Somewhere she's out of sight.
What did you say about the miller?
Crazel? He's a bit of a rogue. Spends all his time in Lower Samine Mill pretending to mill flour.
Excuse me? He doesn't mill flour then?
Aye, he does, but it's just I've heard tell he gets up to all sorts of things there. Witchery and the like.
What did you say about the smith?
Radovan, a decent sort. He's got some odd ways and he curses like the devil at times. But there's no finer blacksmith. His smithy's in Takov. That's a bit out of the way, but he always does such a good job. Folks don't mind going the extra distance.
I'll go and start with those sacks.
Nice and steady, so you don't do your back in.
The butcher. And the more I think about it,
You ain't here to carry,
the
clear
clearer
off.
it is to me that I can't do it.
To nie to.
You know, so she's safe.
If you ain't here to carry,
Miałem te
clear off.
wory tutaj zbiegać.
Two of us.
Może z nimi
I
pogadajmy.
picked that size on my own.
Greetings to you.
Likewise, lad.
I haven't seen you here before. Where are you from?
Jestem.
Well, I'm not from around here. I'm just an ordinary tradesman who minds his own business.
An ordinary tradesman, you say?
I find that hard to believe. Me and Crazel have had our eye on you for a while now.
You look like beggars, but you talk like learned fellows. You two are an odd pair, all right.
Do me a favor. It's obvious they're two hard-up students, or apprentices. What do they call you, lad?
I'm Henry.
So, Henry, what was it you were after?
Since you've joined us.
I'm looking for work.
And what can you do?
I can do a lot of things. But mainly, I'm a blacksmith.
Bugger me. A blacksmith, you say? That makes two of us. And my apprentices have just vanished along with my goods, the bastards. When I'm swamped with work, let's shake on it.
Why work in the smithy when you can work in my mill? The job's cleaner and less grueling.
Oi, I asked him first.
My own pa was a blacksmith, so I spent my whole childhood at the forge. I know how to handle a hammer and bellows.
Bugger me. That's a lot more than the last lot I had. Whenever you're passing by that way, drop into my forge in Takov and ask for Radovan. That's me.
No super.
I haven't been here before, and I'd like to learn something about this region.
What's there to say? It's not a bad place to live.
It's usually peaceful, thank God. I don't like too much excitement.
You've got good reason to hide, I reckon.
That's enough of your mudslinging. It's actually good to live in an estate where the Lord's away most of the time.
That's true. Just a couple of villages, rocks, fields, not even a church worth the name, in fact. That's despite Otto van Burgo being one of the kingdom's most powerful nobles. The darkest place is under the candlestick, as they say.
When his lordship isn't in these parts, his chamberlain stands in for him. Ulrich von Schomberg's his name.
Yeah, I saw him on the gate tower when he sent us packing like beggars.
Aye, he's a right haughty bastard. On the other hand, he can be negotiated with.
If you can get to him.
I heard there's going to be a big wedding in these parts. What do you know about it?
That's right. A big affair in Sameen.
Everyone wants to go.
And anyone who's not invited is trying to worm their way in somehow. Not me, though. I couldn't give a toss.
Because you weren't invited, eh?
Of course I was invited. But what do I care about young Sameen and the bailiff's lass? We're all just playthings in God's hands. One day, our earthly bonds will vanish in time, like smoke.
Trying to sound clever again, are you, Crazel?
All I'm saying is that these petty affairs of men leave me cold.
Sod that, it's gonna be big. Even Lord von Burgo himself is gonna be at the wedding. And he hardly ever shows his face in public.
Would it be possible to get to von Burgov, even though he keeps his distance from people?
I don't know. He's either locked away in his castle or traveling somewhere. And he's powerful and important. So the only chance of meeting him is at the wedding. At least for us who are invited.
And everybody will want something from him. He'll be dancing for joy, I can tell you.
Could someone get to the wedding without an invitation?
Someone? You mean? Forget it, looking like that.
Well, I think it might be possible, using certain methods. Play of light and shadow, a cloak as black as night.
What are you going on about? More Miller's witchery?
All right. I won't say another word.
Semin's bound to keep a damn close eye on his big day, so you won't get in without an invitation.
I've got to be going.
Wait, there's something else I want to ask. What's your story? Are you students? Apprentices?
You ain't, are you? You look too scruffy.
We're messengers who were supposed to deliver a letter to Sir Otto von Burgov. We set up camp down by the pond, and in the evening we were attacked by bandits. They slaughtered our men. It was only through luck that we saved our skins. We lost everything, even the letter. So they wouldn't let us into the castle.
Can't say I'm surprised. I'd send you packing myself. But it's true, there's bandits marauding in these parts. They're getting bolder and bolder. Even attacked a patrol from the castle recently.
Aye, these are evil times. Nothing never happened like that in King Charles's day.
Farewell then, Henry.
Farewell.
No dobra.
You know, so she's safe.
The butcher? Safe? What?
Tu można pohandlować. Dobra, zamknij.
There'd have to be two of us. I couldn't manage a pig that size on my own.
Jeszcze raz z tobą.
What are you still standing here for?
I already told you. I'm waiting till someone can be asked to unload my cart. If you ain't here to carry, clear off.
Where's the pantry?
Second door inside the tavern. You can't miss it.
I'll go and start with those sacks.
Nice and steady, so you don't do your back in.
The clearer it is to me that I can't do it. We could come up with a plan to take her away. Somewhere she's
Dopiero musimy iść zobaczyć, gdzie to jest.
Christ, pardon me.
No tutaj nie. Tak, tu są wory. Tutaj co jest? O, tu ktoś śpi. A też jest skrzynia. A nie mamy wytrychu. Dobra. Nic tu nie wyszabrujemy. Tutaj. Też nie.
If you ain't here to carry, clear off.
Some boy, mind if I find that?
We can come up with a plan to take her away. Somewhere she's out of sight. You know.
If you ain't here to carry, clear off.
Butcher? Say?
They'd have to be.
I talked to that woman from the pond.
I noticed. It didn't look like she was too pleased to see you, though.
The main thing is, she denied ever being at the pond.
It's definitely her, though. You don't forget a figure like hers.
I got the feeling she didn't want to talk about it for some reason. I did get something out of her, though.
What? Don't keep me in suspense.
Von Bergov is about to leave the castle.
Sacre! If he pledges to Sigismund before we can get to him, everything's fucked.
Calm down. Let me finish. There's also going to be a big wedding in the region. Young Lord Semin, a nobleman, is marrying the local bailiff's daughter. It's the talk of the region. It's invitation only, of course. But maybe we could wangle our way in somehow.
Why should some wedding in a shithole near Trotsky be of any interest to us?
Because it looks like von Bergov will be there.
Oh, that's fantastic news, Henry. So all we have to do is get on the guest list. And that shouldn't be a problem because you've got a cunning plan, right?
I'll come up with something.
I hope so. You can't expect me to do the thinking for both of us all the time. We'll ask the locals and see.
There's something else we have to sort out first. I spoke to the innkeeper.
I noticed that too.
We can work off our debt. All we have to do is carry a few sacks of flour from that cart to the pantry. If we both do it, we'll be finished in no time.
Lug sacks? Are you yanking my noble pizzle?
I'm serious.
I can't work. I'm a noble. What if someone saw me?
Come on. Nobody will recognize you.
Maybe not now, but what about later? People will remember my face, and when everything's cleared up, word will get around that I lugged sacks here like some beggar, as if the disgrace at the gate wasn't enough. Ugh!
Look, we're not in any position to pick and choose. So if you want to somehow scrape your way out of this mess, you better forget your airs and graces and make some effort. A bit of honest work won't kill you.
Henry, haven't you ever heard of the 3 states of man?
Would that be some aristocratic excuse?
Not so fast. It's God's law. Oratoris, the priests who pray for us. Laboratoris, the plebs who shovel shit and pay taxes. And Bellatoris, the warriors who protect the ones on their knees or in the fields. Now, which am I? So if you find me a sword, I can get to work. But wield a pitchfork or carry sacks? That's against God and nature.
So, which do I belong to?
Good question. Before I'd have said you were a peasant, but it turned out that you're a noble's bastard. And you're pretty handy with a sword. And you've even been in a monastery.
I'd rather forget about that.
You're a bit of everything. But if you get your hands dirty with labour, it wouldn't be such an offence against divine order as in my case. Pure blood, noble status and that. In short, be so kind as to get to work. I promise I'll make it up to you.
I'm going then. But you could give me a hand. It wouldn't do you any harm.
Ah, stop whining. You can manage. Well, if it makes you feel better, I'll scratch your back later.
How? By giving me a large estate?
That too, of course. Maybe 2 estates. But above all, once we're out of the worst, I'll help you find your dog. As soon as we have at least some gear, we'll head into the forest and find Mutt in a trice. Although, if you think about the 3 states of man, looking for lost dogs is more like a huntsman's work. But let's pay no mind to that.
How generous of you, Lord Capon.
I know, my dear Henry, such is my nature.
No to jest negus. Chyba będę musiał sam sobie nosić te wory.
Oof! That isn't half heavy. Oh.
Dopiero jeden. No tamten negusiaty jak cholera, nie chce nawet pomóc. No już w następnym szykował, patrzcie. Ty cwaniaczko. Ale ktoś musi zarabiać.
Why the long face?
Jak to się mówi, ciężka praca płaca. Dobra, jest C. Kobieto, nie przeszkadzaj.
Qui dicit non qui negat.
Is that supposed to be
Bring me
Latin?
something to eat.
You, do you know what it means?
No. And I doubt you do either.
The burden of proof.
I
is on
heard
the
they
one
are
who
going to
declares,
cut down the old
not
oak at the
on the one who
crossroads.
denies.
Oh no.
So you see,
Why?
I speak lovely truth. Did you say?
Say it again. It was their own fault.
What do you mean? They attacked themselves? Or what the fuck are you trying to say?
Everyone knows it's dangerous around Trotsky. Making camp in such an unprotected place is suicide.
Where else were they supposed to make camp, smart-ass?
Somewhere in the rocks, maybe. Not out in the open by the pond. Only a fool would do that.
But calm down, both of you.
I'm perfectly calm. It's your chum here who's ranting and raving.
Pack it in, Henry. There's no point in arguing with this yokel. He fancies himself as a military strategist.
I don't believe a word you're saying. A weed like you surviving a fight against bandits even von Berghoff himself has trouble with?
Believe what you like, but I'm telling the truth. And in fact, I'm willing to overlook all your insults if you apologize right now. And invite me to that wedding.
Oh, you want to come to the wedding, do you? Huh. I'll give you a piece of advice, pal. If you can make yourself useful for the blacksmith or the miller, you'll get to the wedding. You'll see the glorious occasion, at least from a distance. And you can stop spouting your pathetic lies.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein, and I demand your immediate apology.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein.
You're starting to bore me. You and your silly made-up name.
No apology, then. It looks like I'm going to have to teach you a lesson.
Oh, I'm so scared.
There's no point in this. Let's leave.
I'd do what your pal says if I were you. Get lost before something happens to you.
I give you a chance to apologize, and you keep insulting me? Get ready to pick up your broken teeth with broken fingers.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Come on, then.
You scum!
Dead man. Slice him up! Oh,
I'll rip your arse open! Come on, then!
Good!
Why
Take that! No yielding, you piece of shit!
Zeig, was du drauf hast.
Take that fucker out!
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker! Ain't had enough yet?
You're no match for us, fucker!
Don't kill him! This one's mine!
Show your stuff!
Facing a noble.
Slice him up!
Madman! Why'd you do it?
We're gonna fight you, horse! Yeah! Don't bear it! Fuck you! Slice him up!
O kurde, nam tu dadzą o młoty.
What the hell is going on here? Grab them vagabonds!
Bastards! This will cost you dearly.
Keep your mouth shut and don't make it worse.
What?
You behave like a spoilt brat.
How dare you speak?
You know, if you just shut up and done some work, we'd have coin by now and be on our way to the castle. But no, not his lordship.
You've got a nerve. If you hadn't have played the hero, we'd have been there long since, and I wouldn't have had to get you out of that mess.
Oh yeah, because this isn't a mess, is it?
Fuck off!
Shut up! Or you'll get a whipping too.
Just who the hell do you think you are?
I'm fed up with pulling you out of the shit all the time.
You pull me out of the shit! And who dragged you through the woods at night, eh? Better keep your mouth shut. I shouldn't have brought you along.
Well, that's something we can agree on. I could have been sitting in the mill instead of rotting in these stocks.
And whose fault is that?
I don't fucking believe it. You're really going to blame me for it? It was you who caused the brawl. We should have made ourselves scarce. None of that would have happened.
Oh, aye. Typical you, running away like a coward. If it hadn't been for me, we wouldn't have even been in that tavern. We've been in the shit right from the start because you had to play at being the knight in shining underwear, saving damsels in distress.
I don't believe it. You're trying to put the blame on me? Just like that?
Who else is to blame? You're just a simple peasant who has no idea how the world works.
Hey, let's just stop all this arguing. It'll just make things worse.
Fuck you. I've had it up to here with you. With you and your pontificating. You were supposed to make sure nothing went wrong. And how did that turn out? It was me who had to save your life. You're fucking useless. You couldn't even keep an eye on your own mutt. Lost for words, are you? All right, have it your way. We really have nothing more to say to each other.
Right, ladies. Time to go home. But I swear to Christ, if I catch you again, I'm gonna skin you both alive.
Isn't that?
Master Otto.
Hey! Go!
Oh, shit. Right, where were we? Go on, get out of my sight.
What are we gonna do? You can do as you like. You can go and carry sacks or dig latrines. I'll look after myself. I'll go and see Lord von Bergov at the wedding. I bid you farewell.
All right. Yeah. If I were in your shoes, I'd be glad to be rid of the good-for-nothing, eh? Yeah. All right, off you go.
I suppose I really do need to find some job. I'll find muck without you, you stuck-up lord of Perchtime.
Henry?
Okej.
Hey, over here.
Tu jakaś dziewka jest.
You're Henry, right? Or was it the other one? You don't look like you're in a rush anymore.
What do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
You're welcome. At least it was good for something.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side.
Hmm?
Now things can only get better.
Yes, you're probably right. It doesn't get much worse than that. Unless somebody tries to kill me. Again.
You're still alive in one piece. It's a new day and the sun is shining. Like Tomcat always says, bruises build character.
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman, but a real joker too. He loves showing off to girls.
Where might I run into Tomcat?
In the camp by the tower, that is, by Rock Tower Pond. He watches the camp for the nomads.
Should I watch out for them?
No, I don't think so. They mind their own business, but strangers usually mean trouble for them, so they're careful. Try not to stare too hard and hold your tongue, otherwise Tomcat will show you some of his other skills.
How does he show off for the girls?
With his muscles. He ricks logs with his hands. He even let himself be run over by a loaded hay wagon. Crazy. But to be fair to him, he sometimes helps people. Stanislav's sheep fell into a pit one time.
And Tomcat pulled it out.
And, not just that, he crawled down to get it. And when he found the poor thing had a broken leg, he carried it on his back all the way home.
Do you think Tomcat might teach me a few of his tricks?
No offence, but compared to him, you're a bit of a lightweight.
I don't want to pull wagons, but if he can handle a weapon, I'd be happy to train a little with him.
Well, one of the guards tried to take him on and came back whipped like a dog, moaning like he'd been broken in two.
Well, sure. If he's that strong, I'm not surprised.
More like some trick he's got that our watch doesn't know. Or at least that's what the poor man said.
Dobra, musimy się udać do kocora.
Oh well. It was nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage. Till we meet again.
No to sobie już ogarnęliśmy temat. Dobra, tu mamy czas. Zadania główne, zadania poboczne, zadania. Dobra, to mamy kupę zadań do porobienia. Najpierw to by się dało się obmyć. Nie, macie tu wodę. To jakaś ciesielka jest, ale to jest woda, widzę. Umyj się, chłopie, bo wyglądasz jak... No, od razu lepiej. Teraz by się zdało ubrać, nie? Spodnie, buty. To nie chyba. To już lepiej wygląda. Pasterz. To jest brudne. Jedzenie mamy. Tu mamy punkty. Rękodzieło, jeszcze nic nie mamy. Kodeksy. Dobra. Dowiedz, co się stało z orzechem. Dobra, my się musimy dostać na to weselicho całe. Ale to już zobaczymy w następnym odcinku. Jeśli się podobało, łapkę w górę, subskrybujcie mój kanał i zapraszam do oglądania następnych materiałów. Trzymajcie się ciepło. Cześć.